basically I've been fishing and boating my entire life, and it would be fair to say that my family and I are boating enthusiasts. And I've got my dad over here. Let's turn the camera around. Here he is. Say hello, Dad.
Hello everyone. Now I've been in the boating for the last 40 years. I got Mark into it. I put him in the boat and I couldn't get him out of one.
Yeah.
And he's still in them now.
So can't get me out of one. I think we've owned a lot of boats as a family. How many boats have we owned, do you reckon, Dad?
At least 30 or so.
Look, I'd say between 30 and 50 boats, and fiberglass, alloy, you name it, we've done it. We've rebuilt them, transom, floors, internal structures, trailers, engines. Basically spent thousands of hours working on boats, being in boats, and you know, we just absolutely love boats. So we are boating enthusiasts, and I love BARCRUSHERs. Okay, they're my #1 boat, but again, I love so many other brands of boat as well, but I can only actually afford to own one boat, and this is that boat. Now you know a little bit more about me and what we're about. In this boat we're going to do some amazing things. So we've got Brad over here, my brother-in-law. He's a #1 crew member and boat captain as well, so you're going to see a lot of him in the future episodes. And look, we're going to take this boat everywhere, the whole east coast of Australia, up and down. We're going to catch every fish there is basically to catch in this boat. So we love going offshore, catching big marlin and tuna, and
even just bottom bashing,
whatever.
Yeah.
We just want to get out there basically. And when this ridiculous lockdown ends, you know, we'll be on the ocean. And you know, I want to stress, this is not a sprint, guys. This is a long-term thing. You're going to see us on this boat a lot. There's going to be a lot of episodes. We're going to be doing this for years. We're going to spend thousands of hours in this boat offshore. All right, I think that's probably about enough. You guys know what you're in for, and I think let's have a look at the hull, the trailer, the engine, the options, and we'll go from there. All right, let's have a look at the hull design first on the BARCRUSHER. So what you're going to see here is, you know, obviously it's a plate alloy hull. It's got very much a rake design on the front of the boat, and the sides, as you can see, are very vertical. Okay, and the front of the boat it's kind of shaped like, I don't know, it's shaped like an axe. So these things are just made to absolutely cut through chop, cut through rough water. Now, and they do a great job at it. I've got to say, this is a very, very fast, soft offshore boat. So we'll head down to the back of the hull here. So one of the important features at the back of the hull here, and you've all seen this, and it's basically the ballast system at the back of the boat here. And you know, when you're stopped, it fills with water and it makes the boat incredibly stable. So if you haven't been on a boat with a ballast system like a BARCRUSHER, very, very different to a reverse chine fiberglass or alloy hull. These things seriously are as stable as a bloody rock. It'll actually blow your mind. So you know, that's technology basically. So you have a lot of fiberglass hulls that haven't really changed in principle much since like the early 1950s, like the old Bertrams and stuff. Well, I can tell you here that the ballast system in the BARCRUSHER takes things to a whole different level. And yeah, now that I've been in a BARCRUSHER with this, I wouldn't want to go in any other boat without it. So while we're at the back here, let's have a look at the transducer. 1 kilowatt dual chirp TM 275 LH, so high frequency chirp, low frequency chirp. Again, it's a technology thing, it's a game changer. Chirp transducers matched with the right sounder unit just offer a far superior basically sounding experience, and they're going to help you find and catch more fish. Okay, as we can see here, we've got trim tabs. Really, it's sort of crazy that trim tabs are not standard on offshore fishing boats. Anything over sort of 5.5, 6 meters really should have trim tabs, because it just makes an enormous difference to your ride and how you can sort of control your boat in the water, especially offshore. So yeah, hull's pretty straightforward. Got a nice amount of freeboard there, and look, it's a great riding soft hull. So at the back, you've got a 20-degree dead rise in the hull. Basically no reverse chines. All you have here is simply a V. And a V is the best shape that is going to cut through the water and give you the softest possible landing and yeah, off waves and things like that. So great design hull for offshore work. All right, we're going to climb up into the boat here and have a look. Okay, so one thing that I've opted for in this boat is these brand new esky seat options. So you've basically got a 90-litre esky that fits under each of the two front seats of the boat, and they have a split folding lid, so you can open them up and put stuff in there, or should be able to. Bit far forward there, so there we go. That's great, so you don't have to pull them the whole way out. And look, and they also give the advantage of a few different things. So you can basically step on that esky from there up onto the side deck, and then grab things, you know, out of the rocket launcher and things like that. So, and one thing that you can do on a BARCRUSHER, which isn't kind of made obvious, is you can walk around the cabin. There is a small sort of walkway around there, and there's a good grab rail on the front. So yeah, you can walk around there pretty easily if you choose to, like you can see Brad doing there at the moment. So the esky seats are a brand new option for 2020, and definitely awesome, so thoroughly recommend those. The one downside, I guess, is these tackle storage trays here. You only actually get 6 of them, and I think you normally get, I don't know, 8 or something like that. The one thing I want to show you guys next is basically the helm position of the BARCRUSHER is just absolutely outstanding. So these guys have put a lot of thought into the ergonomics and the cabin design of this boat. Everything's in the right spot, in the right proportions. All the controls hold, you know, fall to hand beautifully. I've opted for a different steering wheel there with a knob on it to make it easier to steer the boat. We've got a 12-inch Simrad Evo 3 unit there, which is going to do a range of things for us. And look, as you can see, there's handholds everywhere. It's just really easy to get in and out of that cabin, and just a really pleasurable place to be. And one thing that again is not obvious when you see pictures of these things, but it's actually the amount of weather protection you have in this boat. So as you can see, Brad's in the cabin here, and he has got a whole lot of sort of roof that extends well beyond the back of his head. So that's full reach back. There is no way that you're going to get sort of rained on or sun or anything like that in this boat. And you know, you've got tinted, toughened glass there, so you know, rain, hail, whatever, bloody, you're going to be comfortable in this boat. And the main thing is just sun. So spending a whole day offshore, you know, out in a boat and just getting sun on you all day, at the end of the day you're exhausted and you're burnt, and this is just going to be a really pleasurable place to be for us. So the bunks in the BARCRUSHER are around 1.7 meters long. You've got fantastic headroom down in there, getting in and out of the bunk. We'll get Brad to give that a go. So it's just super easy to get in there. You've got heaps of headroom. And lay back comfortable. Yeah, look at that. Like, you can sleep 2 people in there, no problems at all. And look, and that's something we actually plan to do. So we're going to take this boat out offshore, and we intend to do overnighters in it, even, you know, out at the continental shelf, 30, 50 k's out to sea, because that will be, you know, fun and a little bit crazy. And that's what we're going to that's what we're going to do for you guys, and we'll film all that. So moving to the back of the boat, we basically have a really good sized uncluttered work area here. You've got the standard BARCRUSHER folding seat that you can move out of the way, which is really good. And look, the 670 has, I think, the deepest freeboard of any of the BARCRUSHERs, because the 730 and the 780 actually raise the floor height. And look, these side decks, we absolutely love these big, thick side decks, especially since the addition of this kind of little curved edge here. It makes it a lot more comfortable to basically sit on and lean on. And sometimes we've actually, during the day up the river, we've basically slept on these side decks. Yeah, we've done that a few times. So you can sleep in these side decks. And look, it's just, I don't know, all these little things, the ergonomics on this boat, a lot of thought has gone into this boat. It really has. And, you know, look around the market, and once you look at other boats, I'm not saying this is the only great plate alloy boat out there. There are a couple of great plate alloy boats out there, and I don't know. But I obviously had to pick one, and in my opinion, this boat's right at the top of the pick, basically. And the side decks are just fantastic. Like, you can walk on these side decks. You can probably to be honest, you can probably moonwalk on these side decks. Let's give that a go. Brad? I'll give that a go. Let's just, for sake of completion of this test. Now, if I fall here and break my other hip, at least it'll be on camera. Look. Yeah, I think that's a semi-legitimate moonwalk there, people. That's how good these side decks are. You can moonwalk on it, you can sleep on it, right? BARCRUSHER has got the side decks right. You've got these great handles up here. You've got things to grab on everywhere. It's a very, very safe offshore boat. So the hardtop is quite high, so that's part of the reason why I've actually opted for these eskies. So you can basically stand up on the esky, grab yourself up, grab your rod off, and hop down. It is quite high, but then again, I am quite short, so I don't know if it's too high or I'm just too short. I think it's a mixture of both, basically. Got some nice spotlights mounted up here on the hard top, which are going to be really great for sort of nighttime sessions that we're going to do. Got twin radio, marine radios up here, 27 meg VHF, and also a fusion stereo system, which is going to keep us interested out there on long days on the water. And obviously we've got the opening windows in the hard top, and they are really, really important. So on hot days in summer, and also cold, foggy days in winter, you need to be able to get air circulation in your hardtop. And a lot of other boats don't actually offer that in their hardtops. So yeah, that's something really cool that the BARCRUSHER does. So I actually wasn't going to go with the front window, and BARCRUSHER convinced me to do it. So it was probably a smart move in the end. All the controls and gauges here at the front are really well laid out. Got this Suzuki troll mode where we can effectively adjust the engine RPM in really short, delicate amounts to, you know, for trolling purposes. Full digital throttle fly-by-wire with this Suzuki, which we'll talk about in a minute. And I don't know, this boat is just such a comfortable place to be. We're gonna have a lot of fun doing really long days out on the water in this boat. It just feels good, it feels solid, you know, like you can't break this thing. Brand new bait board for 2020, bait station I would call it. So you've got these really good big drawers here that you can put all your stuff in. So we're going to put our our pliers and our knives and probably our terminal tackle, hooks and sinkers and things like that in these drawers. Super handy. No running around back and forth in the boat trying to find things, which is what we normally do. And you know, you generally need things when some sort of crazy fish action is going on. I also love these movable rod holders, so keeping all your game rods down low, not in your rocket launchers when you're traveling sort of to and from the fishing grounds is really important, so they're not getting, you know, full of salt and getting all feral and stuff like that, and they're easy to access. So last but not least, we've got a Suzuki 200 horsepower 4-stroke on the back here. Fantastic engine, obviously very tried and proven. This is the AP model, which is got the digital throttle and shift basically, so no cables. I hope that is, you know, informed you guys on what's coming in our series and what this boat's all about and what we are going to get up to. And before I finish, like, I just want to say a massive thank you to BARCRUSHER and Blake's Marine, because these guys have absolutely bent over backwards for me, gone above and beyond. Okay, these guys looked after me, so thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it, and look forward to making a lot more videos, and we'll see you out on the water soon.